Boa noite, pessoal. Oh, hello, guys. It's in English. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome to the super session on the match with Gabriel Chagas. He just matched at Cleveland Clinic, Ohio, in internal medicine. A really fantastic match, and he's going to share with us his incredible journey in research and publications and the steps, challenges along the way. So I'm really excited to welcome Dr. Chagas here to the stage. Gabriel, thanks so much for joining. Can you introduce yourself to folks, please? Tell us where you're from and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Cardoso, and good evening, everyone. So I'm Gabriel Chagas. I'm originally from Brasília, which is the capital of Brazil, but I lived most of my life in Fortaleza, northeast of Brazil, where I studied medicine at the Federal University of Ceará, which is ranked among the top 10 universities in my country. I decided to study medicine in the US because of the opportunities it gives us. Uh, the best training, the best possible training, the opportunity to do the best for my patients. So I've taken the steps during my graduation and then uh, published a few papers and applied last year, and I'm very happy to be part of Cleveland Clinic now.
Amazing, sir. When did you graduate, you said?
2023.
Okay, so it's 2 years from graduation until starting residency. So that's pretty incredible. It's a short timeline. So I want to jump right into the challenges you faced along the way, Gabriel. You were telling something right before we started that you didn't know how to speak English well like you do. I mean, I'm impressed. When you told me that, I thought that you would have some challenges in English, but you speak so well. You told me that was the initial barrier you faced. How did you learn English, to go through this process successfully?
Thank you. So, yeah, that's true. I used to have nightmares during school with English tests and all things related to English. But as soon as I was approved in my university, I knew that I needed to study English to, have access to the updated medicine knowledge.
I mean,
So I've taken a few courses, and I've watched some series on Netflix, read some books, and, getting in contact with the language and engaging speaking to people helped me a lot.
amazing, fantastic. Yeah, that's a challenge for some people, and I usually offer the same advice. Studying medicine in English. Obviously going through the steps, you learn a lot. Doing the observerships, you learn a lot. Watching
Yes.
movies, spending your quality time. Watching English content is super helpful. And then another challenge that comes along the way for people who want to come to the United States for residency is the research. And I want to start by showing this publication here that you published as first author in asthma in respiratory disease about the use of this medication, tezepelumab, in patients with asthma. So before we talk about this research, I wanted to ask you, Gabriel, just in general terms, do you think that the research was an important component of your application?
Yes, it was super important in my application, Although I had very good scores, having the publications opened the doors, especially in academic programs, and getting, into the network of mentors also helped me in so many ways. Uh, you know, Many of my mentors reached out to program directors, asking for the opportunity, for me to interview with them, and I got, about 3 or 4 interviews this way. So it helped me, besides getting the papers done, but also the networks experiences.
Nice. That's good. Wow, that's amazing. So you connected with these co-authors who helped you in your application? Is that right?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Nice. That's great. And this connection with the co-authors in the research, did you invite them to collaborate in your projects? How did you meet them?
So I met the first one was Dr. Uh, Hernandez from the University of Miami. I met him through your program, the
Yeah,
mentorship program.
he's a good
So
friend. We're
yeah, he's
we're very
fantastic.
close friends, and we were co-chiefs together. Yeah.
He's an amazing
So
guy. So
he helped you somewhat. And tell me a little bit about that.
yeah, we published I think 2 or 3 papers together, and he helped me to take the first steps to apply for observerships, try some places. Other mentors were Dr. Bruno Lima and Dr. Marconi Abreu, both are Brazilian.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dr. Bruno Lima was a friend of mine by that time. We did a collaboration in 2 or 3 other articles, and he connected with Dr. Marconi Abreu, and we were able to publish an article in CGM in patients with diabetes, and it was my last paper before the application.
It's a great point you mentioned, which is the fact that it's not just about the publications, it's the connection. It's the connections that you build along the way. Dr. Marconi Abreu, who's from Texas, is one of the experts now in the current edition of the Meta-Analysis Academy. And having the opportunity to work with someone like that as an expert, as a senior author, as a collaborator in your work, your research, builds a connection that can help you guys in your career. So that's beautiful. I'm happy to hear that you not only got the publications by joining our program, but you met with great people. Bruno
Yes.
is a great friend too. So I'm glad that these folks helped you along the way as well. You mentioned the scores, the USMLE. So in the USMLEs, you said you did well. I don't want you to necessarily share your score, but I just wanted you to give us a good sense of just how just like you did like really extraordinarily well, and this was an important component of your application. Do you think it helped you to stand out? Do you think it's an important component? What I really want people to know is get great advice from you who just went through the process successfully.
Yeah, so I've taken the USMLE Step 1 in 2021. At that time, it was still the numeric score, so I got 271, I think.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then 277 on Step 2 CK.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've taken the OET and was approved, and right before, during the interview season, I've taken the Step 3. It was 264. I don't know if it helped me in some ways, but it's very important for us applying to the H-1B visa pathway.
Yeah, I mean those are some of the highest scores I've ever heard about, and I want to give people some insight. I don't know if people really understand the job of a chief resident, but when I was a chief, I helped select residents for internal medicine, and I had the opportunity to interview people and review applications. And one of the key insights that I learned from there, and I want to share with everyone here, is that the best application is the well-balanced application, the application that is strong in multiple different components. In Gabriel's case, he was just extraordinary in everything. He got high scores. And I think there's little difference if you get a very high score or an extraordinary score like Gabriel. But if you got high scores and you have the publications and you have good letters of recommendations, if you have those 3 pillars, that's going to be the best application, is the one that's well balanced. It doesn't help you to have 200 publications, but then do poorly on the steps. It doesn't help you to have a 270 on the steps, but have no publications. So I think the fact that you had first author publications like the one I showed, after doing the meta-analysis, and then balancing that with strong publications, I think that's really key, one of the key determinants of why you were so successful. Tell us about your rotations. Where did you do your observerships or clerkships, to get your letters of recommendations?
Yeah, so I did my rotations between June and September 2024. The first one was at the Cleveland Clinic with Dr. Francisco Almeida, who also graduated from the same university as I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I rotated in interventional pulmonology. It was a fantastic month getting to know the Cleveland Clinic and the Bronx Suite team. It was just an extraordinary experience coming here from Brazil.
I actually know him. I worked with him on a Duke research course way back when, long time ago. This is probably 7 years ago. He went back to Brazil, I think, for some time, and then went back to the United States. I may be wrong, but I met him in this course that we both We were both faculty at Duke a long time ago. He's a great guy.
It's fantastic and helped me a lot, rounding up my application and reaching out to people at Cleveland. Uh, so my second rotation was with Dr. Bruno Lima at Vanderbilt. I spent a few days there, getting to know the Vanderbilt and studying structural cardiology, another incredible opportunity.
Nice.
My third rotation was with the Cardiology Institute of the South as a private group in Louisiana. I think they have 17 units, spread out there, and also in Chicago. And I
Nice.
was able to rotate in the outpatient and inpatient settings, watch some procedures, engage with patients, build a fantastic relationship with Dr. Daryl Solar.
Great. I
Uh,
think, I
my
think, Bert, sorry, go ahead. You can finish.
no, no, you go first.
No, I was just going to say that the timing of your rotations was quite fortunate, right? July to September. That I often get asked by that. People ask me that whether the timing is really relevant. I think
Mhm.
it helps a little bit if the rotations are right when you're applying, like Gabriel did. But I also don't want people to put a really strong weight on that factor. I did my rotations 2 years before I matched,
Mm.
1 year and a half. And I did it in the University of Miami when I was a fifth year medical student, and I applied 1 year and a half later. So, and I had the same letters. I didn't do new rotations and everything else. So I
Uh-huh.
think it helps if your rotations are relatively recent. I know Gabriel matched at the same place where he did the observership. That definitely, maybe it helped for sure. But
Mhm.
also, if you guys don't have the opportunity to do it that way, don't be disappointed. Just make sure you do have your rotations in line. And you got letters of recommendation, I'm sure, right, Gabriel?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Okay. Do you have any advice for people on how to stand out on those rotations? Some things that you did that you think were helpful?
Yeah, sure. So the first things that, be present, get there early, leave late, try to learn in every opportunity, ask questions, don't be shy. People know that you're there to learn, and try to engage with the team, build relationships, talk to patients, examine when you can and when you are allowed to. Uh, those are my main advices.
Yeah, I love that one. That show up and do your best, but be engaged. Be proactive. One other advice that comes to mind is that I want you guys to be helpful, not that inconvenient helpful
Yeah.
that wants to just show off. Actually, be helpful to the team. It may be simple administrative things, but also cognitive things like helping on a teaching topic of something that's relevant to the team.
Hmm.
If you're doing a clerkship, obviously you can be really helpful because you can do hands-on stuff. But just always try to be a presence that they're gonna miss when you go away. You want. I love a quote from Sarah, who's one of our students and a good friend. She said that when you leave, you want people to miss you. You want people to remember. Oh man, I wish Gabriel was here. It was so good when Gabriel was here. You want to be that pleasant, supportive person that helps the whole team, and be helpful. That's really key.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
Gabriel, was there anything else that we talked about the research? We talked about the high scores. I'm actually gonna write that in the chat because Miguel just asked that question. You talked about the scores. We talked about the rotations. Was there anything else that you think was helpful for you getting this really strong match, or that's it? Just do really well on each component, and you're gonna be successful as well.
Yeah, I think those are the main things, but another very important component now for the residency application and the match is signaling. So in internal medicine, we have to choose, if I'm not mistaken, 15 programs to signal 3 gold and 12 silver, and you have to be very wise in choosing your programs. In my case, I've chosen mostly the programs I rotated or the programs my mentors, were there, had connections there, and some safe programs as well. Uh, so yeah, it's very recent, the signaling program, but it's getting very, very important, in the 2 years it has been there.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Thanks for that reminder. Gabriel, I'm curious, how many programs did you interview in?
Uh, 14 programs. I applied to 100.
That's great. That's really good. I think that's this is just my personal story. I made a strategic mistake when I applied. I applied only to 20 programs. I got 3 interviews.
Uh,
I almost didn't match. But this is way back when, before we could ask each other questions like this. So, but I think you did everything right. I want to congratulate you again. This was really, really a great build up to the application. You did everything right along the way, and then you capitalized on it. You got a great result. Can you tell me a little bit about
thank you so much.
insights from the interviews? Anything you did in particular that was helpful in preparation, or anything, any insights you learned in the process?
Yeah, you have to be prepared, you have to train, do interview with your friends, with your mentors, or with some people, that train train us to do this. Uh, get know your curriculum, your life. You're going to be asked so many questions about your CV, your publications, why you did this and not that. Explain any gaps you have, any red flags. This has to be, very well prepared, well rounded.
Yeah, be prepared for those interviews. And then one advice I like to give people for interviews is be that person that has a good story. What I mean by that is that try to connect your past with what you want to do in the future. I think if you can highlight the things that are most exciting to you, they want to see passion. They want to see, oh, you can be upfront. You can tell them, hey, I love cardiology. I've done research in cardiology. I want to connect with the people here at the Cleveland Clinic who are doing great cardiology research and clinical care. I want to be the best clinical cardiologist that I can be. You have to be passionate. You have to be specific about your goals. They may change over time, but people want those people who have a story. The story I always told is a really true story, is passion for teaching. I always loved to teach.
Hmm.
I always, got stayed extra hours in the hospital to teach the interns. I got awards for research in my career. And I've said I want to be a clinician educator, and this turned out to be great, true in my career. I'm a academic cardiologist, and I created the Meta-Analysis Academy because I love to teach. So if you can connect your background with what you've done to what you're going to do at the institution, that's the interview that really stands out, when you have a good
Hmm.
story. Good.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
agree on 100%.
This is incredible. I learned a lot from you here today. I'm sure people learned as well. One final question I have for you, and I just want to tell people about our wait list. If you guys want to join the Meta-Analysis Academy like Gabriel, make sure to join our wait list. We'll put the description here in the chat. I want to finalize with your opinion, your perspective on the Meta-Analysis Academy, Gabriel. What was it like for you joining as a student? And then I know you were a meta writer later. We'll talk about that a little bit. But tell us a little bit about your perspective of learning how to do meta-analysis in our program. I'm going to show your meta-analysis here again one more time. So tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so engaging in the course was, I would say, fundamental in getting the publications and the network that I have now, in the sense that uh, the course is very hands-on and you really get to know how to do a meta-analysis from beginning to end, how to publish it, how to enter reviews, all these things that we do. So I think after the course, I published at least 6 or 7 papers before my application. And it counted and helped me, and I matched. I'm very happy about it. And I think it's one of the best opportunities for us that don't have, you know, how don't have the means to engage in hands-on research, in a lab, in the hospital. Doing that analysis is great.
I fully support that. I'm going to say also, for those who are also doing lab research and doing a research fellowship or something else,
Hmm.
learning how to do meta-analysis, an extra tool is, and more that you can do. You can complement your research with more
Yeah.
papers, more high impact research and connections like Gabriel. Gabriel met a lot of good people through his meta-analysis, like Rafael, who is my friend, like other friends that or mentors that he met along the way. So
Yeah,
I'm glad,
agreed.
really glad that you liked the program, that you had great results, that you matched. And I also want to thank you publicly. Gabriel was one of our meta writers. That's those are our students who are selected for the role of correcting the papers that our students write. They give feedback. They help them improve the paper. They help them do better in terms of their research so they can get the papers accepted. And we have a team of meta writers, Meta-Analysis Academy writers, that give that feedback to our students. And Gabriel has been one of the first meta writers that we had in our program. And I'm really glad to see you doing extraordinarily well in your career, my friend.
No, I have to thank you. It was truly a pleasure. I love doing that.
Well, guys, that's the beautiful story of Dr. Gabriel Chagas, who is coming soon to the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio as a first-year internal medicine resident. Gabriel, it's been an honor to have you as a student, as a friend, as a meta writer, and now as an alumni of the Meta-Analysis Academy who is going to start residency in the United States. Congratulations. I'm really, really proud of you. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure.
All right, guys, you all have a good night. Take care. Make sure you join our wait list. Thank you, Gabriel. See everyone later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.